Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Sonja and today I am sharing with you my top 5 pumpkin DIYs that you can create for $1. So let's get started. So I have picked up this, it's called the Thanksgiving pumpkin. It is super glittery, 100% not my style, but I love the shape and I think it will be perfect for my little project. You will also need some orange acrylic paint, brown acrylic paint, also a black permanent marker as well. And I am also using a chalky finish spray paint in classic white. You could also use just white paint if you wanted to. I just thought the chalk paint would be much faster, and some paint brushes and just a paint bowl or a tray. So the first thing that I will be doing is getting this pumpkin ready for its paint job. So I'm just gonna try and reattach, take the stem off, and then I'm going to spray paint the pumpkin. It is raining outside, so I will be doing it inside, but I have a window right behind the camera. So I want a full coverage with this white paint. I'm not that concerned about the top as much as I am about the rest of it, so I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to let this dry. So the pumpkin is all painted and dry. I didn't really do much on the bottom, but here it is. And now I'm going to take my orange paint and ice it. So my pumpkin is my donut, and now I'm going to ice it. I'm just going to add a little bit more and take a smaller paintbrush, and I want to kind of make a little definition. If you want to see me make actual real donuts, make sure you head on over to my cooking channel, where I share all sorts of cooking videos and recipes and what's for dinners. The link is down below. And if you want to see how I showcase all of my DIYs, make sure you head on to my home channel, where I share all of my home decorating, cleaning, decorating, shopping hauls, and things like that. Okay, so it looks like icing now. And now for the top, I am going to put some sprinkles on. And I'm just using a very thin paintbrush and the brown paint, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on. Okay, and then once it dries, I'm gonna go over with the black marker as well to ice it. And while that's drying, I'm just going to take some of this brown paint and paint the stem so it's not this shiny gold stem. And I'm just going to attach that back in, and my donut is done. Here it is, all finished. I think it turned out so cute, and I think it's gonna be a great addition in my kitchen as part of my kitchen fall decor. I am going to be using this Dollar Tree pumpkin. It's a foam pumpkin that I picked up at Dollar Tree, obviously, and some low heat glue gun. This one is from Dollarama, and it's not very hot, and which is what you want in order not to melt your foam pumpkin. I am going to use some chalky finish spray paint in classic white that I picked up at Michael's, as well as some Annie Sloan soft dark wax. It doesn't have to be Annie Sloan, just like this doesn't have to be the Krylon. It can be any chalk paint and dark wax that you might have on hand, and if you do not have those on hand, you can always kind of modify it with some acrylic paint and maybe even brown and white acrylic paint. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this because I do not love these. So I'm going to be putting a piece of wood on there, and then I'm going to take my glue gun and just accent all the crevices of the pumpkin. And you want this to be a very thin line going down. And now I'm going to just do little drops all over. And like I said, you want to use a low heat, because if you do a high heat, it might melt the styrofoam. Okay, so you want to let this dry, which doesn't take long at all, and I just want to show you how it looks right now. So once it's dry, and to know that it's fully dried, you want the glue to almost turn whitish versus the clear. So I have a little bit more to go. So it's ready. Okay, let that dry completely. So here is the pumpkin, just to kind of show you what it looks like. And now I'm going to take some of the dark wax just want to make sure I don't have a giant clump of wax. And I'm just going to go all over. Let's see if I can do a better job with the brush. So I think I'm going to do it with a rag, and then I'm going to go into little crevices with a brush. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Okay, now I'm going to put the little stem on it and see what it looks like all put together. So I'm going to add the stem. Let's put a little bit of hot glue just so it stays in place. So here it is. I think it turned out absolutely amazing. I love all the little details on it. Love, love, love the way it turned out. So totally different. We'll need some of these harvest sign, the galvanized lettering, then a pumpkin shape, and then I have this material that got left over from other projects. I made some pillows out of it, and then I also have a bow from a different project, and then brown acrylic paint, but I'm all out of brown acrylic paint, so I'm just going to use the cocoa chalk paint. So first thing you want to do is you want to just get rid of some of this glittery stuff, and the way to do that is to give it a light sanding. And then you need hot glue or Mod Podge, up to you. I'm gonna use hot glue. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this. Oh, actually, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove this rope. And now I'm going to take this material and just glue it on. So I'm going to put hot glue all around. And this is the one place where you could use the Mod Podge or tacky glue if you wanted to. You have, if you're using hot glue, you've got to move fairly fast. And cut it out. This is when I feel that if I had one of those rolling cutting things, it would be good. I'm just going to add a touch more glue just to make it a little bit tighter, because here it didn't really do a good job. Just going to cut out this flap. And now I'm going to paint this part. And now I am going to add this lettering right there, and I'm just going to do quick strips of glue, like there. Oh, pull it a little bit here too. And then I'm going to add my ribbon, and I'm just going to shorten these a little bit. I'm going to add it right here. And I think I'm going to just add a little leaf. I think maybe right here like that. And I'm gonna put some glue back and forth. There. That is it. Very simple, very inexpensive, and a very farmhousey in my opinion. Let me know what you think down in a comment. Project, you need, oh my goodness, focus, foam board. I'm going to use some chalk paint wax in any Sloan in black. You will also need, again, one of these letters, and then you will need craft knife and an old rag and a pencil. I am going to freehand the pumpkin. I'm gonna try anyways on here before I cut it out. That's why I'm using a pencil. There we go. So I'm going to cut this out now. And I'm cutting it on this table just because I will be getting rid of this tablecloth that I have underneath. I'm going to be getting a new one. I also forgot to mention I will use that brown paint again for the stem. So I'm going to cut this this off because I'm going to need it. Okay, so now that I have it all trimmed up, so now that I have it cut out, I'm going to glue it on. And I'm just going to lift up and add glue. And the reason why I'm doing it like this is because it will give me more dimension. Hopefully it won't melt the pumpkin, the foam. I did a similar pumpkin a while back with just some cardstock, and I thought that was pretty neat as well. Now, like I said, I like the different heights that this had given me a little bit. Almost like a real dimensional effect. So I'm going to paint this first. And you want to paint the sides too. And now for the lines on the around, just to make it stand out a little bit more, I'm going to use some of the black wax. Going to just make some lines like this as well. Now I'm going to also add some of the dark wax onto the stem just to give it a little bit more color or dimension. Okay, and now for if you make a mistake with I'm gonna actually just show you a little bit how to do that. So you can take your acrylic or your chalk paint and a brush and just dip it in and take as much off as possible, and then you can just soften it up a little bit with the white paint if you don't like certain areas. And now I'm going to add my galvanized letters just right there. You can also add some ribbon if you like, but I'm gonna keep it just as is. For my next project, I had picked up this pumpkin from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to remove that, and I'm going to make this hole a bit bigger because I want to put a thicker rope through it. There we go. And now I'm going to take some rags and I'm going to apply any Sloan brown wax and any Sloan dark wax. And now I'm going to use some black wax. Just going to go back to brown wax, and all I'm doing is layering it a little bit. And this is an easy way to give your raw piece of wood, even though I don't think this is really a piece of wood, but to give it a stain. You can do this on a piece of furniture as well, but the only way this would really work well is if the piece of wood was completely stripped of any stain. So I think that's pretty good. I really like the way this looks. I'm just gonna add a bit more on the edges. Now, the next step, I'm going to use one of these signs, and I'm going to use Harvest. And I'm going to give it a little stain as well, just a little bit of brushing. This is not gonna go on very easily because it's just the way it is. Maybe I will actually give it a little bit of paint, black and brown paint. I'm just going to use acrylic paint. Just to show you. Now I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to finish it off once it's dry. So this had time to dry, so now I'm going to just use my hot glue to glue it on. There, I don't know if you can see. And then for here, I'm going to add this rope. There, I think that looks really rustic, farmhousey, and great for my upcoming fall decor. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if this is your first time stopping by, I would love it if you considered subscribing and pressing the notification bell so you don't miss out any of my future uploads. So until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching.